Well, it's a showdown. Motown versus The Town. Who's going to win this one?
You are Locked On A's, your daily Oakland A's podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Wrapping it up at the Collie. Hey there, it's Wayne Coy welcoming you back for another episode of Locked On A's. How you feeling about your team? Hopefully okay. Hopefully you'll be able to give them some good luck this weekend against the Detroit Tigers. Don't forget, we are available every single day wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, which is just awesome for somebody with a face for radio. But hey, we do what we got to do, right? We're just telling you, this is a great place to be. It only works if you chime in too. So a little feedback goes a long way. We got a comment section right down below. Go ahead and let us know what you think, what you'd like to see on the show. And of course, you can hit us up on Twitter too. That's at Locked On A's. All one big old happy family here and part of the Locked On Podcast Network. So let's get into it. Let's find out, in fact, if the A's can beat the Detroit Tigers and at least end the home portion of their season on a good note. Want to, of course. Got to tell you that our show today is brought to us all by Birddogs. Love the Birddogs. Love them a lot. Go to birddogs.com, Locked On MLB, or enter the promo code Locked On MLB. Birddogs going to hook you up not only with the greatest shorts and pants in the world, but they're going to give you a very cool Birddogs water bottle, and you get to keep that as your gift with your order. You won't want to take your Birddogs off, that I can tell you. All right. So, yeah, we're at the Coliseum. We're trying to beat the Tigers. How did that go? Well, let's start with Thursday night, which would have been last night, and the A's trying to break a 7-game losing streak, okay? And what did they do? Well, they played like the minor leaguers that most of them were just a month or two ago. You got to always remember, this is a very young team. They're going to scuff it from time to time. Last night was one of those times. To the tune of 3 errors last night. It seemed like everybody wanted to get involved, make a little mistake. And if that weren't enough, well, then you had the performance from the starting pitcher. You asked me about his performance. Yeah, starting pitcher from Hayward. So he's one of our own, but he's really not because he's playing for the other team. That's Tarek Skubal, who basically schooled us with 7 strong innings last night, only 2 hits. He walked 1, and he struck out 10 Oakland batters, pretty much making the whole game out of reach early on. A big story of the night was, of course, not the loss or even Luis Medina's inability to be able to get us out of that 5th inning. For whatever reason, he's having a hard time. It wasn't either one of those things. In fact, it had nothing to do with anything that happened during the game. It was actually before the game. What could it have been? Well, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm going to make you wait. Hang on. We'll get to it. But let's talk about Birddogs first. Birddogs makes you look good. Even a guy like me hanging out in the shopping center at the grocery store, actually, Albertsons. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Anyway, and I think I told you this story before, but it's not often, especially now as we get a little bit older, a little more gray in here, not too often that I notice that there might be a member of the opposite sex checking me out. Well, it was happening. And I kind of looked over. I'm like, hey, what's up? I still got game. No, I don't. I had a pair of Birddogs on, and she was looking at my legs, not at my face. In fact, a little bit higher than that. Okay. Regular shorts, bah, they don't mean a thing. They're stiff. They stink. Sometimes they do. So what they've done at Birddogs is they've unstiffed them and they've unstunk them. They've actually got anti-stink sweat wicking fabric. If you think I'm making that up, do I look like a guy who would make something like that up? No. I got my shorts with a liner in them, so I'm actually, I'm kind of like double lined because I have the underwear on, of course. Haven't gone commando yet. I've thought about it. But okay, so you got the undies on, plus you got the liner, which is like a swimsuit sort of thing. So everything's nice and, where it's supposed to be. Just super, super comfortable. That's what I like about them. Birddogs, you feel like you got nothing else on, but you do. How about a Birddogs water bottle? Would you like that? Well, you can get it. All you got to do is just when you check out, make sure you use that code Locked On MLB, and you'll get the free water bottle. Nice big bottle too. It's kind of one of those that you can take with you everywhere you go. So get yours. We of course don't want you to take your Birddogs off because you're not going to want it anyway, and that's a promise. All right. So what happened at the ballpark tonight? Would it be a second verse, same as the first, another repeat of a bad performance? Boring, to be honest with you, on Friday night. I mean, that's what happens when you get dominated by another team. So the A's come in looking to avoid their, they're 46 and 107. I don't want to beat it into the ground, but they're looking to avoid being the worst team to ever play in Oakland. And to do that, they were going to need to beat that guy with the funny last name. That is Sawyer Gibson Long. Okay. And he's hyphenated. The guy's had a great season so far, and a lot of people are thinking that this was going to be a good night for him. But Ken Waldachuk said, whoa, 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 whoa. And just like that, did what he needed to do, which is right the wrongs, get everything headed in the right direction, and pitch into the game to get a nice performance from our starter. That was just key. And for the big lefty, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. 6 innings pitched, final line, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks. Can I say that again? No walks. And that's the second appearance in a row for Waldy with no free passes and 7 strikeouts. So very well done for Ken Waldachuk. You may know where this is going. Okay, Brent Rooker, 29th home run of the year. Here's a stat for you. Last 5 games that he started, he's gone yard. He hits it the 29th of the year. I actually called it. I told my wife, Nancy, I'm like, he's going to go deep. In fact, he's going to go straight away center deep. Not that it's hard to predict. It's Brent Rooker. He likes that part of the ballpark. Number 29, which is awesome, means he'll probably get 30 before the year's up, and we love that. So that makes it a 2-2 game, and stay with me here because then it got really interesting. Not so much fun, but interesting. Tony Kemp basically made us all freak out for a minute. Everybody in Athletics Nation holding their breath because of the wonderful thing. No, because he was doing what he needed to do, which is lead off first base. And then Lawrence Butler hits a bullet, 110-mile-an-hour bullet, right there, just a little bit to the right of first base, where Tony Kemp happened to be standing. I will tell you this, he's pretty limber because he was able to dodge the bullet, but he came down on his ankle and basically, I don't want to go all Joe Theismann on you, but, well, he didn't break it. That's the good news. But he came down on it very funky and then had to get to second base, obviously. And what a gamer. I mean, limping all the way. He made it to the bag barely and then was on the ground. Then, miraculously, he's able to stretch it out, run it out, do a little jogging in the outfield. I thought for sure that he was done for the night, but they kept him in the game. And that's a good thing because he needed to score, okay? So did he do that? Well, yes, he did. And I got to tell you, despite the gruesome sight that we all just saw there, Tony Kemp was a guy who I think all year long has proven that, when it gets tough, he gets going. The guy's just, he uses it. I know it's not a very big body, but he uses it like it's the Hulk's body. You know what I'm saying? So Mark Kotsay gets his badge. It's the I think I know what I'm doing badge. And he certainly does because he says, hey, Tyler Soderstrom, come here, take a seat. Starting catcher, Soderstrom, takes a seat. And a guy who I think we thought wasn't going to be in the game came in, and that would be Shea Langoliers, who pinch hits for Soderstrom. And he's doing it against a hard-throwing lefty that has just got everybody going, wow, what a pitcher. Tyler Holton for the Tigers. And Shea comes up, 2-0, cutter. See ya! 487 feet to left field. And just like that, Oakland jumps out to a 5-2 lead. 487 feet? That can't be right. Anyway, I'm not going back. It was long. It was deep. It's long, it's deep, it's gone. That's all that matters. It's no way it was 487 feet. That'd be over in the parking lot. Okay, that didn't happen. I don't know who wrote that down, but shame on you. So Oakland jumps out to a 5-2 lead, which is great. Okay. One thing I want to point out, though, is that it was Friday night. Fabulous Fab Friday. And it was also Esty Ruiz's big night. Yep. It's Esty t-shirt night at the Coliseum. And many of us were very curious. In fact, I would go so far as to say very upset that the man of the hour, the guy whose face is on everybody's shirt, it's either in their hand or on their body or on the seat next to him or in front of them. Yeah, it's his night. And he's not even starting. He wasn't in the lineup on Esty t-shirt night. Can you believe that? And you know how I feel just about him playing in general. His playing time has been cut drastically since he came back from his injury and since Lawrence Butler's been here. I say there's room for both of them in the outfield, but I digress. Anyway, so it's Esty shirt night. And considering this guy's got 61 stolen bases, which means he's 5 shy of the American League rookie record, which was set in 1992. That's a lot of years ago by Kenny Lofton. Great player, right? Kenny got 66. I think Esty could get there. In fact, I think he would have already been there had he played a little bit more. But it's funny how these things have a way of just kind of working out. They do. I don't know what you call that. I guess call it karma, right? Because, well, Tony Kemp, thankfully, didn't break his ankle, but the A's weren't going to take any chances with him. So he did score a run. He got on base. He sacked it up, and that was enough. Okay, so they decided to give him the rest of the night off so they could examine him and make sure that he's okay. And that puts Esty Ruiz into the game, first as a defensive replacement, but then, of course, his turn in the lineup came up, and boy, did it. Okay, you had a Zach Geloff walk. You had a Seth Brown base hit. Yeah, it was a walk and a base hit. Oh, and then Brent Rooker took one completely off the noggin. I mean, straight up off the helmet. So bases loaded. And guess who's coming up? I'll wait. Are you writing a Hollywood script? Because that's exactly how this thing played out, okay? Esty comes to the plate with the bases loaded, falls behind 0-2, and you're thinking, man, on his night, he's going to strike out. Well, he worked the count. Trey Wingenter from Detroit all of a sudden is just stupid wild, right? Obviously, he hit Brent in the head, had real big command problems. And that worked to our benefit because you get a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And then Ruiz got what was really ball 4, but he reached out, hit it into right field, drove in 2 runs, and redeemed himself and said, yeah, there's a reason why my face is on all of those shirts. Thank you very much. Okay, and we know, of course, what I think the entire stadium knew what he was going to do next, which is steal a base. And yes, he did steal second base, which was number 62 for the year. And that wasn't enough. So he grabs third as well, which is stolen base 63. And now, just 3 away with 8 games to play, can he at least tie that record or hopefully beat it? Well, with the announcement after the game that Tony Kemp did indeed sprain his ankle, it might bode well for Esty Ruiz, because if Kemp's out, that's one less potential outfielder. So I got a feeling we'll see a little bit more of Ruiz than maybe we would have because of the way Mark Kotsay is managing this team right now and platooning. So going to cross fingers just like that and everything else that we'll see Ruiz play. That would be great. Oh, by the way, the A's did add another run. Lawrence Butler, the aforementioned, with the sacrifice fly. And hey, that's all it took. Final score, 8-2. Good guys. And everybody goes home happy. That's what you like. So now, series tied 1-1. And I told you something happened that definitely got everybody's attention the night before, right? On Friday, or I'm lost. Thursday night, you're right. It's weird to start a series on a Thursday. Anyway, yeah, Thursday night, the night before. What happened? Well, I'll tell you after I tell you that you got to snap into action, not with a Slim Jim. What you need to do is get on board with FanDuel. That's America's #1 sports book. And right now you can make all the bets. It is NFL season, right? My Raiders are playing the Steelers. We hate them. And that'll be Sunday Night Football. I'm going to do something with FanDuel for that game. But here's the thing, $200 in bonus bets. How do you get it? Well, all you got to do is bet $5. So $5 bet gets you $200. I'll say it again, $200 in bonus bets. And you can bet whatever you want. You know, you can bet the line. You can bet your favorites. You can bet those props, which are always fun. Spreads, the over-unders, whatever. Doesn't matter. Have fun. That's the main thing, right? And you can do that. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel.com/lockedon. And you can kick off the NFL season. It's only week 2. Well, week 3 now. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Okay, as promised, a little pregame moment that became a viral moment in a hurry. If you're on social media today, you're like, Wayne, I know where you're going. Future Hall of Famer, Miguel Cabrera, Detroit Tigers, right? He's wrapping it up. And understandably, it's a long career, I think 20 years now. So he's doing the tour, you know, the same one Derek Jeter took and Reggie took. And yeah, so every park that the Tigers visit, they do something very cool for the player. You know, a very nice, well thought out present that they typically have like a big presentation for. They make sure that they, you know, get it on their website and that they film it, to put it on YouTube, all of that, you know. And the gifts are always pretty cool. You know, I've seen bicycles and cars and fishing kits and all kinds of stuff throughout the years. And I think it's just neat to be able to say, hey, appreciate you and your career. And because you were so awesome, we want to do this for you to let you know that we really dig you. Okay? So, of course, the A's would need to do the most Oakland A's thing they could possibly do. And that's exactly what happened. Manager Mark Kotsay came out and presented Miggy with a bottle of wine. Not a wine tasting, not a wine barrel coffee table, not a tour of Napa or Livermore's wineries, a bottle of wine. And you're thinking, okay, well, it must have been a really expensive bottle of wine, right? Well, we checked, and the retail price check shows us price is right. What do you say, Johnny? How about $90? Okay, that's if you're paying full retail, like just under 100 maybe, right? More than likely, though, like BOGO at Liquor Barn, you know, you're getting 2 bottles for that. So that's what we gave him. And just the fact that, you know, it wasn't a super expensive gift, that's one thing. And oh, by the way, there's another thing. See, that is that I think, I heard anyway, that Miguel Cabrera is a recovering alcoholic. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. But apparently he's a wine collector, doesn't drink. He just likes to collect cool wines because Dusty Baker gave him a bottle when they were in Houston from his winery, which was neat. But still, did you think much about that? I think what happened was it was like an hour before the game, you know, and all of a sudden somebody in the A's front office went, oh, we forgot. We're supposed to give a present to Miguel Cabrera. Did somebody do that? Nobody did that. We need to fix it. Hurry. So they grab a clubby, you know, bat boy, whatever, give him the keys to the car and send him to the closest place where he can grab a bottle for Miguel. And it's more than likely the 98th Avenue liquor store that I remember from when I was like 13. They're still there. I'm sure they're still, you know, can you get up to the counter? Okay, you got your ID? I'm not looking. Okay. Yeah. Probably didn't buy, though. Well, they certainly didn't buy what I bought. Can you say Mad Dog 2020? I knew that you could. If it wasn't that, it was, what's the word? Thunderbird. What's the price? Twice as nice. Or Boone's Farm strawberry. But anyway, we liked our alcohol cheap. And at 14 or 15, whatever age I was, buying booze in Oakland, you do what you got to do. Anyway, that's what happened. They got the bottle of wine. I don't know if they got it at that store or not, but needless to say, social media blew up. I mean, it was a meme so fast your head would spin, and all over Twitter today, just photos of the presentation. There's Mark Kotze, and there's Miguel, and he's smiling, he's holding his bottle, and is 2023 over yet? No, it's not. All right, this date in A's-tory, not history, A's-tory. Before there was a Ricky Henderson, before there was a Campy Campaneris, before there was a Bill North, and anybody else who's stolen a lot of bases that we might remember in our lifetime playing for the A's, before any of those people, long before we were here, all the way back in the year of our Lord, 1912, on this date, September 22nd, Philadelphia A's infielder Eddie Collins stole 6 bases in one game. Are you kidding me? 6 steals in one game. And then if you're thinking, wow, that had to be cool. It was, but something even cooler happened, which is he did it again, or had done it already earlier. In fact, did it twice in the course of, I think it was 11 days. That's an American League record, as you would imagine. And it's one that still stands today. Eddie Collins of the A's, 12 bases in the course of 2 games, 6 each game, back in 1912. Hey, it's the A's. Awesome. 2 more games for your Athletics this weekend. They got to play the Tigers again tomorrow. My birthday, by the way. Going to wrap up the final homestand of 2023. And hopefully they can do it, with a couple of wins. And then it's on to Minnesota and Anaheim to finish up the season. So we'll play the Twins and then the Angels. And then that's a wrap, kids. And I really love tomorrow's starting pitcher for the A's. I was so happy when this trade happened. And it isn't often that I get happy when an A's trade happens, right? Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, on and on and on. But this one I was very happy about. And you're going to see why, I think, again tomorrow. His first outing for the A's was fantastic. And former Cincinnati Reds top prospect, pitching prospect, is going to be on the mound for us. He's ours now. His name is Joe Boyle. And get ready to watch him do his thing. He's going to be facing off with Alex Fado. And then on Sunday, it's looking like J.P. Sears for the A's against Eduardo Rodriguez for the Tigers. So, hey, let's do it. Let's win a couple. Please enjoy the weekend. And thanks for being part of the fun. I just love that you're here. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. I like the comments, too. So if you want to give us the feedback, come on, man. Come on, feedback. Comments right down below on YouTube, of course. And if you're just listening to the podcast, which a lot of people do, that's awesome, too. You want to hit us up on Twitter, maybe that's a way to do that. And you can do it. We finally got it all worked out. It's at Locked On A's. Stayed up all night to work that one out. So do it to it like Pruitt used to do it. Subscribe if you would. It really does help the channel, so thank you for that. A thumbs up if you like what we're doing. That's appreciated too. And, can we beat the Tigers? That's the question. Well, I don't know, but I do know this. We are Locked On A's every single day. Thanks for being here. Take care and keep on swinging.